You do need a face and a brain in any political project for it to be successful. That's why Julius and Floyd, they knew this from the beginning, that we have different roles. Julius, you are the face, you are the loud mouth. Floyd, you are the guy who must sit behind a computer and write 7 cardinals and principles, whatever they call that.
The cardinal pillars.
Exactly. So yes, but that is broken. Now we've got a hollow head that is there, it's a face, and there's no brain. So let's park that. But let's come to the second point you are making about the cordiality of their divorce. You know why? Because they know each other so well that they are aware that they cannot afford to spill beans about each other. These people have done a lot together, including corruption. Remember, they attended that meeting with Matodzi to accept bribes from VBS together. So Floyd knows.
According to Matodzi, of course, because we need to remain fair, that in their absence here, we cannot say, remember, they had the meeting. According to Matodzi,
but no one has denied that meeting, by the way. Dalim Mpofu confirmed that that meeting took place. They themselves have not denied that meeting.
But the contents thereof, what was discussed,
that the money actually flowed, nobody has denied that. The point of dispute, was it a bribe?
Yes, or a donation.
Exactly.
Yes.
I call it a bribe. I'll die for my sins. Don't worry about me. So here's the thing. They've done a lot together, these two. So they know they cannot afford to spill beans about each other. That's why they have to be cordial. You can put a gun to Floyd's head. He will never tell you what Julius did, because he knows if he were to do that, he would be implicating himself. So that's why I was not surprised. They will defend each other to the grave, because they know that if they were to spill beans, that would actually be suicide on both their part. Floyd is going to MK. You see, people must not read a lot into this MK stuff. Floyd had very few options. One, he couldn't form his own party. He doesn't have the money and the means to form his party. Number two, he's not even a charismatic man. So he knew he wouldn't go that route. That's option number one that he had. Option number two is to go back to the ANC. He has enough enemies in the ANC to go back there. And also, the list of ANC unemployed people from parliament, the previous parliament, who are there one position, is so long that Floyd knew that it was going to be at the back. The only option was, where does he find a political home that will protect him? Because remember, you could be arrested by the there's a VBS. My theory.
But how would Mkhonto we Sizwe protect him when you've got the former president or the president of Mkhonto we Sizwe currently in the courts? Exactly. Why would he be protected? He looked for a home where you have a largest concentration of people who are facing criminal stuff from the president himself. So if you go to a home like that, you can be protected. No, but the EFF, they've actually had their own president, their own leader has sat in a court bench. So they don't have a step-aside policy. So surely, I don't know, Professor, your views on this. I mean, if it's just now going to be the situation that he left because in the MK party, he would be protected or at least supported when he attends some sort of court cases. The former president is not protected. He is attending and present at all his court cases. And even in the EFF, they don't have a step-aside policy. So even if he were to be charged, some would assume that surely nothing would happen there. Let me explain that there is protection. No, let me explain this protection I'm talking about. You see, because if I don't explain, you will think that I mean that the MK party can instruct the NPA not to act. That's not what I mean. Even Zuma, by the way, the MK part, how does Zuma protect the MK part? They simply organize crowds to go to the court and toy outside the court whenever he appears. But it's of no consequence. It would be lonely for a poor Floyd if he were to be charged by the NPA. And I think he's going to be charged given what I've seen with the Matodzi affidavit. He goes to court alone. There's no political party that's singing outside. You see, these chaps are used to that kind of life, where they command the masses, they have political support. So he can only find that in the MK. In the EFF, he could find it before he had a fallout. Remember, my starting point is there has been a genuine fallout, and he recognized that there is no way that he can coexist with Julius within the EFF. So what does he do when there's he had to leave?
So he must look for another political party that can at least...
That can sing outside court.
Exactly.
And then if you're found guilty of whatever,
you go to
it's
jail.
Besides the point. But you had comrades singing outside. For some, that would seem quite shallow. That you would really go to the MK party purely just so that they will have no influence on the on the NPA, but the fact that they'll just be singing outside while you're inside the court.
There's another thing. You want me to mention more?
Yes.
You watch the space. Call me if it doesn't happen. You will be given a job in Parliament. Which other party would give Floyd the job in Parliament outside the EFF? Absolutely none. So he knows that. His salary is going to be replaced. Remember, as we speak now, if he were to spend a month without being employed, the guy will actually be broke. He's unlike you. You have a salary at the end of the month. He will not have a salary. So the MK is going to give him a salary. He calculated also that is actually a big factor. So it's not only about protection outside court. It's also the real stuff of the stomach. This is the end of the EFF. There's no party formed after 1994 in South Africa that lost support and regained it. So forget the EFF is gone. MK party is actually not a party of the future, and Floyd actually is not going to drive anything there. MK party is a Zulu nationalist party. Hlophe told us, he said he didn't join the EFF because the MK party is closest to the Zulu monarch, and Floyd is not Zulu. So he's going to be treated with suspicion. He's not going to drive anything there. He's actually naive if he thinks he's going to be at the core of that party.